To me, being an artist means being a psychologist. To me, being an artist means being a sociologist. To me, being an artist means being an activist. To me, being an artist means the chiefest of them all is being immortal. You know, as an artist, I believe we don't die. We only transcend through time. We are here to live forever. So this means that the messages behind our heart keeps on living after we are gone, keeps on imparting lives after we are gone, and the memories of us cannot be forgotten. So it's like being dead though living. Hi everyone, my name is Samson Bakare. I am from Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa. I live in Lagos. I'm currently working in Lagos. I am a stylized figurative artist. This means that my art is a mixture of stylization and figures. Okay, I draw perspective from the Eastern Orthodox Coptic art. You know, when you see those Coptic art from Egypt and some places like Libya. So I was inspired by what I see there. You know, the forms, how they appear in comical rendition. So I decide to do something, you know, in line with that, and this is where I arrived today. I began the journey into this very exploration you see today, as at the time I was tired of convention. I was tired of being boxed up. You know, I used to be a representational artist, and I was tired of we looking at a model and representing the model the way it is, and looking at the proportion of the eyes or the hand. Oh, it has to be the same as this. And I was like, how we can't just continue this way. Like I can't continue this way. And I started looking for something idealistic within me, and that's how I arrived today. Now the message behind my heart is this. The first is black elevation. Okay, and when I talk about black elevation, we're not just talking about emancipation of the black people. We are talking about, you know, sometimes my work dates down to the 18th century, the 17th century. When I look at the setting, I paint through the Elizabethan period, the Victorian period, and sometimes I capture scenes from, you know, the event of the transatlantic slave trade, how black families used to look like. And when I was going through archives and old photographs rather, I see black people in in a delegated positions, in less prestigious positions, and this ought not to be. So I decide to paint black people, to represent black people in my paintings in a royal manner, which we are. I keep on saying that my heart is a time machine through which you can journey to the past, you can build the present, and you can also take a look at the future from the same standpoint. So if my heart is the time machine now, it means I am referencing the events of the past, how black people ought to be, and I'm bringing into this present reality in order for us to have a new look of how the future holds for us, in order for us to stand in the gap we are. So at times we cannot separate the life away from the heart. I'm talking about an artist here. I believe so much in Pan-Africanism, and I represent this in my heart. I believe so much, I am a retrophile. I like documentaries, I like historical fictions, historical things, historical items, and I see this in my heart too, or people see this in my heart too. I also believe in metaphysics, and you see it in my heart too. Sometimes people ask me, the cherubs in my heart, what is the inspiration behind that? And I tell them that um, we cannot separate spirituality from creativity, in sense that I try to capture some celestial beings in my heart. I that's the way I think also too, because I believe there is more to what we see in the physical, and I try to represent that. Then going to what inspires me now, I am inspired by my spirit. Sometimes I commune with my spirit within. I am inspired by music. I listen to good music. Now going to the message behind each of the paintings I've been exhibiting. First, I've been exhibiting three pieces. The first is Simba in Mickey Mouse Top. Simba and Mickey Mouse Top. This painting trying to capture my childhood experience. The Mickey Mouse show. I love cartoons so much. Even now that I am still growing up, I still love cartoons. And it's not just about the cartoon, but I was trying to reminisce on the events that took place during those time, how we shared the love together, how we shared the moment together with my friends at tender age. So I try to revisit that, and that's the story behind Simba and Mickey Mouse Top. You see the flowers all around. This is talking about beautiful experiences there. The next one is Burberry and Sunflower. Burberry and Sunflower. In this painting, a guy is holding a sunflower in the red background, and is wearing a polka dot shirt. Now, I believe so much that we don't have all the time to live, and now that we are alive, we ought to give flowers to whosoever deserves it in our life. And we don't have to wait till people die before we go to their tomb or their grave to give them flowers. I believe we ought to give them the flowers now. And that's the story behind this. The story behind we maximizing the moment we have with people, not knowing what would happen in few seconds or few minutes to now, not knowing what the future tells. We are humans and we live in uncertainty every now and then. I believe we should live now, like we should love now that we are alive. And the last one is the family portrait. And this is quite big. The family portrait, it's situated around the 1930s, thereabouts. 1930s thereabout, yeah, and that is before the independence of most African nations. I decided to bring a black family that has been captured from their African home and be sold into slavery. And of course, this man gained independence after then. I'm talking about people in the likes of Okunta Kinte, who eventually got back his life and decided to set up a family. And I decided to represent this man in an imperial architecture. You see, when you look at the room, you see the curtains there. Mostly when you look at pictures or paintings during this period, they mostly represent white figures and colonial masters, and this not ought to be so. That is one of my bone of contention. Okay, so I decided to bring these black people, though they were stripped of their identity, of their language, and of their clothes, of their culture. Culture is the way of life of people, the clothes they wear, the food they wear, and these guys were meant to put on the English, the English suit, the English way. And I try to represent this person in a position of power, in a position of authority, where a black man ought to stand, or where we used to stand, and where we have to regain our stand. Thank you for listening to me.